Welcome in, I'm Stacy, and today, thanks to Lumibricks, we have the Misty Forest Cabin. And before we go any further, yes, it does mist. And here are the specs. The cabin is part of the Retro Host collection. There are some interesting build techniques with this set, and it features many great details like shimmering blue water, a fallen tree that is locked in place on the base, and a very nice roof line that I really enjoyed building. Any offers or promotions Lumibricks sends our way will be in the description of this video. A misting set. Is this next level unlocked, or will this feature just evaporate? So this Misty Forest Cabin is actually a rainforest research outpost. Lots of cool details. We're going to start down here at the base, and I will say I think the base was the first 4 bags of this build. There is so much detail. We've got this little guy here. My husband and I are having conversation. Is it a dog? Is it a cow? I'm not really sure what it is, but he's cute, and he's actually got a clear piece on the side of him so he can attach right to the set. But I love the layering here of the different colors. We have a chest here with a printed piece, which looks like a picture of one of our minifigs. In behind this, I'll say dog, we have some trees that have fallen, which is really cool. They're 2 separate pieces, so 2 separate builds, and they're actually on ball joints. And then we have to take a good look at this water. This blue is gorgeous. Actually, in the instructions for the build, you build it up like it's a wall. But then when you're done, you place it and lay it flat into the set. The techniques were really interesting. Got a nice ladder here with a vine that goes up around it. And underneath the cabin, we've got some mushrooms. There's a fishing pole there. We've got some lily pads on the water as well. And then we come over to our raft where we have our first minifig. He's our Rainforest Explorer. He likes to catalog precious forest specimens. So he's got an oar there for the raft. There's a printed piece that looks like a map and a net. And the light is actually attached right to the raft. Now you could take the light off, put it on the land if you wanted to, and just take the raft off. Pretty cute. The base of this cabin, first of all, I love that it's on these stilts, but the base was also built very much like the water. You build it up like you're building a wall, and then it lays down. Super solid, nice and flat, and we've got some couple of studs out here as well. We've got these printed log pieces at the end, which is nice, and I like this sign here, "Here be discoveries." Pretty cool. We've got some arrows here on targets. And this is a neat feature that this wall actually rotates. So this looks like maybe an indigenous mask with some flowers and vines on this side. And then the other side is some snakes and some vines. Technic is really smooth. It's just a little gear here that you spin around. That brings us over to our next minifig, who is our indigenous guardian. So he is the guardian of the forest. I love the face paint, really nice. There's some extra arrows here. The front of the cabin here with the shutters kind of offset, which is really nice. We've got a light by the front door. This is pretty neat here, how it turns down. And we have another printed piece and a big bone across the front of the window, which is nice. We have another little outlook place up here, and we can look at that a little closer when we get to the other side, but there is a light in there and a telescope. Go over to the side, it really gives us a good idea of how jagged the base is. It's kind of neat. Lots of vegetation over here on this side. We have a hammock hanging from the trees, which is really nice. It's actually a piece of fabric. We've got this very large, I think, lizard. Love his eyes, and we get the red tongue sticking out. He crawls up to this tree, which is nice and sturdy. I like the palm pieces that are used as well. And we have this rope ladder that comes down out of the roof. So the roof is propped open. We've got a couple of posts there to keep it propped open, and it's supposed to be that way. So we can take a little peek inside from this angle. over to the back, we have a couple more sturdy trees. These are different how they're kind of square, but then we have the bended pieces coming out with lots of leaves. We have our third and final minifigure, and she is our wildlife photographer. So she likes to capture all that goes on in the rainforest. We have our battery box, which I like that it's a USB. The power button is very easy to access. It takes 3 AA batteries. And we have another huge tree up here at the top. That is solid. This is built, and then you build a bunch of these different pieces and put them all together and put it on. It's really nice. We have our back door to our main floor here with a window above it. Nice that they use some rounded pieces to give it some different texture. And then we have a ladder to go up to the back of that outlook place. The door does open on this first floor. There's just a little hook there to open it up so we can take a peek inside. So we have a table with some food on it and a cute chair. Nice flat floor. If you see, there's a window actually down there in the middle. We have a stove with a breathing light, which is really nice. On the other side, we have a bench with some storage underneath, and we have a skull up hanging on the wall. Our final side, you might notice right away, there is an external connector here, so that's very interesting, just on one side. But because of the shape of this, I'm really wondering what this is going to fit well with. We've got some more vegetation, and we can see those pieces of the tree from a different angle. You can probably see them better from this side. So cool. I really like that. Then we have our other side here where we can take that back off. There's nothing on the other side of it. We can see in here the collection of specimens, some really neat printed pieces here. The ones on the back wall under the blue light are really neat. They're such tiny pieces and they're printed. So cool. And I can show you this gear clearly here, so we can take a look at this wall turning from this side. See how smooth that is? Really good. Then we have one more spot that opens. So this is our outlook at the very top. See the bench in there where the feet would go? We have those pieces that have like the divider, so you can put your minifig in there and he can actually sit because his feet will sit on each side of that. Nice and sturdy. Let's take a look at this roof. So it does come off, but you need to be careful around this tree. And then we also have the ladder that comes out, but it's just on by a couple of pins. So I just pull it forward as I find the easiest way. And we'll move the ladder, and there's our roof. So we've got a couple of pins here inside. Really enjoyed this build and how it all comes together. And then on the top, there's a couple of holes there that the pins go in. It's definitely easier to come off than to go in, because now that the tree is built, it's really hard to see those holes to get it back on. But it does go back on, and it's nice that you can see the inside now. We also have a separate little build, a gator. I put a minifig here so you can get a good idea of the size. Looks pretty to scale to me. It's a cute little build, and also has 2 ways you can display him. So we can take the top of him off and put him here on a stud in the swamp. And then what we have left is this guy, and now his tail becomes his head. So I know you've all been waiting to see this mist function. So we've got a box up here, which is a special module for the mist. In the middle, there is a button that you can press down. But first, we're going to come over here. You can see this white piece here. There is a sponge at the end of it. So we're going to put water in to start. So we have this little squirt bottle that we fill with purified water. There's a little reservoir here that we can put the water in, and then it seeps over to the sponge. And once the sponge soaks it all up, then we can turn on the mist. You see that? Look how fast it's coming out over there by the tree. So I changed out the USB into my battery bank instead of the battery box to see how that power source worked with our mist or fog. And it seems to be rolling much better with the battery bank, just giving it a little bit more power. I moved the hammock out of the way so you could really see how this mist rolls through. The hammock really seems to absorb some of the mist, but it rolls right through the front of the set without that there. I wanted to show you this little kit. So I already showed you the squirt bottle that comes with it. This is what the sponge looks like. And they give you 2 extra ones in case this one gets worn out, which I thought is very thoughtful. And now with the lights out in the room to give you a better sense of this in the dark. We've got light up at the lookout area, nice and bright. We've got 2 lights around the front of the building that are amber lanterns. The water is the best with the blue light. We've got a light here on the raft. Look at the lights on the greenery area. That mist floating right over it and under the hammock. Fabulous. Coming around to the side, we've got a window here. You can take a peek through the open roof. Over to the back. Let's get this open. Take a good look inside. Breathing light. And over here. Got a couple more places we can see inside. Look how bright that is. Love the different kinds of lights on different rooms or different floors. Back out to the front. I brought in a couple of other sets from the Lumibricks Retro House collection to give you a better idea of the size of this set. The Luna Cottage is on the left and the Garden Cottage is on the right. When I first saw this cabin, I was wondering, why is this called the Misty Forest Cabin? And now I know why. It actually mists. And then I thought, but why? I have to say, it's pretty cool how it works. And now I think I'm all in with this feature. I would love to know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe on your way out. And until next time, keep clicking those bricks.